Hi everyone, this video is to talk about the syllabus for Health 430. So this is your syllabus. It is a final draft. It will change as soon as we get more information about our health event. At the top of the page you see there are two instructors, Mickey Yanchevsky and Marquise Johnson. No matter which section you are enrolled in, you will be working with both of us in lectures, group work, activities, and breakout sessions. These are the books that are required. Sometimes students choose not to buy a book. This first book you may have used in Health 222 and Health 315. So if you have it, you don't have to buy it again. If you choose not to buy the book, it's going to hurt your grades because the reading assignments are on all of the material that you need. This second item, University of Kansas Community Toolbox, this is actually available for free online, and it changes constantly. It's constantly updated. So that is free. Hopefully you'll take advantage of that. We have a YouTube channel and we have a Facebook page. If you go to the Facebook page, you will find our Facebook page for Health 430, and you will see that you can actually look at other health fairs that have been held over the course of the last several years. These are areas of responsibility for becoming a health education specialist, and so this course also helps prepare you for the CHES exam. So these are items that you would need to study. These are things covered in our class that are on the exam for you, if you choose to take the exam. Then we have course objectives and course policies. So I'm just going to talk briefly about everything. The first item is the health fair. This is a requirement of the course. If you miss the health event, you cannot pass the course. So that is a requirement. If you miss the health event, you have to plan another event on your own and hold it and evaluate it, which I prefer that you not do because it's very difficult. Every semester, our population changes from preschool through elders. This semester, we'll be working in the Overlea community with high school, middle school students, and the family members who live in that area. We will have the date before we start the semester, but as of today, when I'm making this video, we do not have the date yet. Okay. Lateness to the event you can read on your own. Absence I just talked about. Attendance, participation, and conduct. You do not get points for attending class. That is the minimum expectation. That's just like if you show up at work, you don't get a pay raise or an extra couple dollars just because you show up. And so I have the same policy in class. If you're here, you're here. That is the minimum expectation. If we have a synchronous online class, which we do have one or two, you are required to have your camera on during class time. Face-to-face classes, unlike many of your classes, you should have a device in class that has internet access. You will be expected to use your device during class when we're looking up information. However, if I catch you using it for other stuff like, social media, emails, I'm going to ask you probably to leave the room. Okay, so, and I just talked about this class runs like a job, and so all the policies that are in this class are really similar to the work setting. There's information on attendance. Just like work, you're allowed to miss 2 days during the semester, like personal business days, and no reason, I don't need to know why, just 2 days you're allowed to miss. Synchronous online classes, again, you need cameras. It talks about lateness to class, leaving early. This talks about the 2 absences and the penalties if you miss more than 2 days. The excused absence, there are several items that the university considers excused. The first is for medical reasons, and for medical reasons, which is not listed here in great detail, but for medical reasons, you shouldn't need a doctor's note or a nurse practitioner's note because you have 2 days off without any need for any written documentation. The only reason you would need medical documentation would be if you have an extended illness, and then that documentation goes to the Student Affairs Office. Legal reasons are deaths. Deaths often also go to the Student Affairs Office. And religious holidays, the only way I'd ask you to submit something is if I couldn't find information about the holiday online. Then there are examples of things that would not be excused in regards to work. And if you disagree with anything about your attendance, you have 1 week. Within 1 week of an attendance issue, it should be addressed, and within 1 week of your attendance posting in the Blackboard page, it should be addressed. Information about conduct, academic integrity, and I'll talk about artificial intelligence in a little bit. Communication is really important because there are 2 instructors involved in the course. All emails should be addressed to both instructors unless there's something very specific with you and one instructor. If you send your email to one of us, we're going to copy the other instructor on the response unless it's sensitive and should not be copied. This tells you to make sure you have a good information in the what the message is about. Cell phone, it describes urgent matters. What should you do if you need help? If you've tried to do something on your own, we're very happy to help you. But if you haven't tried to do it on your own, then we're not going to be as willing to help you. And so here are some examples. If you don't take notes during class and you don't understand something, if you set up a meeting with us, the first thing we're going to ask is to see your notes from the class, whether it's online or in person. If you are not taking notes, we are not going to give you an individual lesson because you didn't take notes. If you did take notes and don't understand your notes, we'll talk about better strategies to take notes, and we will help you with whatever you don't understand. But if you do not have notes for a class and you don't understand something, then you need to figure it out because you will not have personal lessons if you don't take notes. However, if you have notes and you don't understand something, make sure you set up an appointment so we can help you. Course grading, grades are not rounded up. They are what they are. And so this goes over some grades about lateness, attendance, extensions. One of the important things about extensions for late requested work. No matter what the reason is, if you request an extension at least 2 days prior to when it's due, the extension will almost always be granted. Doesn't matter why. It could be because you went out to party and you got overslept. It doesn't matter why. 2 days notice. If you're falling behind in an assignment 2 days prior to that assignment, you should know it's not going to be done. If you ask for an extension after that 2-day notice, it's most likely going to be denied. At the end of the semester, almost everything is denied because we have to get things graded. Okay, talks about how to save items, why you save it that way. Talk a little bit about what happens if you think your grade is wrong. If it's a small error, like a typing error or a math error, you just send an email stating to both of us, I think my grade is wrong because, and we'll check it, because we do make mistakes. However, if you think you got a bad grade because you're marked down for not having something that's there, then your email has to tell us, I got a low grade because you said I was missing part 1, and I think I covered part 1 in paragraph 2 of page 2. And the reason you have to tell us that specifically is we've already read the paper twice, and if we didn't see it after reading it twice, reading it 3 or 4 times is not going to help us find it. So you need to tell us exactly where it is if that happens. How to get an A or B in the class, we'll go over this again in another lecture about the course. but you're expected to demonstrate application, synthesis, and evaluation. If you do not do that, the highest grade you will get is a C. If you submit perfect work that is at a lower level of thought and there's no critical thinking, you will receive a C. If there are any errors in your work and it's not demonstrating these things, you will receive lower than a C. So these are the expectations on almost everything we do. There's one extra credit assignment here that will definitely happen and we can talk about in class. And there will be a second one, but that cannot be determined until we're working through the semester. This chart shows you what the assignments are, what objectives are covered, what areas of responsibility are covered, and how many points each thing is. As you know, the course has a large amount of group work in it, but it's only worth a little part of your grade. So it's worth 7.5% of your grade. I need to check that to make sure it's right. But it's only worth 30 points out of 400. So if you have somebody in your group that is not doing their job, it's not going to impact your grade that much. Here are the individual assignments and what they're worth. And then your final assignments at the end of the semester is a final paper and a final exam. This course has several exams in it because it is preparing you for the CHES exam, and so the exams in this class are designed to mirror the exams that you would take for the CHES exam. Make sure you read these because there's lots of important information in there. Here's some information about AI. There's some examples of when AI might be okay and when it's not okay. And we are going to use AI on one of the assignments in class. It is part of the assignment. But here is the question to ask yourself. If you're not sure if you should be using AI, you should ask yourself, if I asked a human being to do this, would it be okay? So, for example, if you asked a human being to brainstorm with you, that's okay. If you wanted to talk to someone and debate an issue, that's okay. If you gave them your ideas that are already well developed and asked them for their input, that's okay. If you're doing something to promote your own critical thinking, that's okay. And here are some examples that are not okay. If you asked a human being to complete your assignments, that's wrong. It's also wrong to ask AI. Is it okay? Would you ask another human to write your reflections for you or to take a test for you? And the answer is no. You know that's wrong, so it's also wrong in AI. To write or rewrite a paper for you, if you asked a human being to do that, you know that's wrong. It's also wrong in AI. And then to submit AI-generated work as your own, would you submit someone else's work as your own? So the question you should always ask is, using AI, would this be okay with a human? And if it's okay with a human, it is most likely okay with AI. And we are going to use AI on one assignment during class. This talks about the assignments, the next several pages. Not sure why that happened. It tells you about the assignments, what they involve. All the student services are on the last page. And then we get to the place where we're looking at what happens every day in class. And I want to explain to you how this is laid out so it's clear. What you need to be sure that you're aware of when things are due. I would use a calendar to keep up with all the dates. Work is usually due on Tuesdays. Work that is due on Tuesdays or Thursdays they'll all be due at 11:59 p.m. But work submitted on a Tuesday or Thursday can be submitted by 11 a.m. on Wednesday or Friday without penalty. And the reason that is true is because you have classes that run late on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And this way, if you are in class late on a Tuesday or Thursday, rather than turning in at 11:59, you have until 11 a.m. the next day. This is only for work due on Tuesdays or Thursdays. If you have something due on a Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, they're not accepted late at all. So that's important. So we have in the first column in this list what the days are, and then this green section at the top, this tells you what your group should be accomplishing during this unit. So all of these things need to be accomplished in Unit 1. Then we have the topics and units. This column tells you what you need to do prior to coming to class. If there's things here that you need to do and you do not do them, coming to class will really be a waste of your time because you will not be able to participate in what we're doing. Here we have this one, complete Unit 1, Lesson 1 before you come to class. When you come to class, we'll do some group work on it. And we'll go over Lesson 2. And then this tells you you have a pre-class assignment due by 11:59 on 8/27. That is not accepted late. And that says that in Blackboard. And so you can see what you need to do before class, what we're doing during class, what happens after class. And so, as we said in the Blackboard, or about the course video, this is a flipped course. And once we get past the first couple weeks, we start to have sessions where you can actually work. So for example, when we get to September 10th, we are doing a lot on the 10th, but on the 12th, you will have that for group time and we will not meet as a class. If we don't get things done here, we might have to meet as a class, but probably not. These items highlighted in green are your group assignments that are due, and we will always go over them in class. And again, you have time to work on them as a group, so there should be no problem. So that should help you understand how this is laid out. And I do believe I put that date is not right, of course. Oh, no, it is. Your final is on May 21st from 3 to 5 p.m. I did check that. And I need to make sure this calendar matches the syllabus, but this calendar tries to help you get organized. And this, again, is not the right calendar for you, but you will have a calendar similar to this at the end of your syllabus. If you have any questions, make sure you come prepared on the first day of class to discuss the items that are in all 3 videos in Lesson 1. And have a great day.